welcome back to my channel. I hope you're doing well. In today's video, I'll be doing a study with me session with you. I know majority of you are students, and it is that time of the academic year where we are all preparing or actually writing exams. Today I decided to go to the university library to get some studying done, as I have my pharmacy calculations exams the next day, and I also wanted to get some more of my lecture notes done, as I can't actually seem to get on top of them. Like, the more you write, the more notes are coming in, and it takes me a lot of time to actually write one lecture notes. So at the moment I'm just packing up the things I think I would need during my library section, or better still, I should say the things I actually need during my library session. So it is actually time to actually leave the house. However, it's a problem to decide on what shoes to wear, because if you have so many, you kind of struggle a bit to get which one you want to wear. So I spent some time deciding what I wanted to put on to school that day. So I was so indecisive, or should I say indecisive, to decide what I wanted to wear, but I ended up just picking a simple one to go with. So guys, I finally got into the library and I found a nice study space to study for myself, but it was actually a struggle to find the right angle to put the camera in and actually take the right angle of pictures or videos that I really wanted to take. Anyways, with all that being said, actually I'm happy that I found a place, and the library is very quiet today because it's a Sunday and not a lot of people are actually in the library today. So my plan for the day was, first of all, make a to-do list of what I'm supposed to do and try to tick all of my boxes. And also, one of the things I plan to do, like I said initially, was to practice for my calculation exams and write few lecture notes. Fingers crossed. So that is what I'm doing at the moment. I'm just making some to-do list of what I'm supposed to do for that day, so it can be a very productive day. And also because I plan to attend mass later in the day at around 6 p.m, so I plan to finish as much as I can, because I arrived at the library around 11 o'clock, so I plan to finish as much as I can before 5 o'clock, so I can go to mass and just after mass come back to the library, do the last few things I needed to do, and finally go home to rest. So that is what I'm actually doing right now. So I ended up spending at least 2 hours practicing my pharmacy calculation exam, and I was practicing to the point that I just want to get everything right, because at my university they give you a mock paper to practice with, and sometimes most of the questions ends up coming back and all they have to do is that they change the numbers. But trust me, when I sat the exam on Monday, it was completely different thing. But thank God I practiced in general and just not focused on the mock paper. I know every basics about the calculations and things like that. I was really panicking when I saw the exam questions, but I really hope I pass, because it wasn't the best feeling of exam at all. So anyway, after that I just practiced and practiced and practiced and just made sure I kept on practicing until I could do everything in my sleep. So that's what I did. While I'm doing that, instead of you just watching me home studying and things like that, I thought I would actually tell you how my third year in pharmacy school has been going so far. I started third year this past September as a pharmacy student, and it's a miracle, I would say, first of all, in getting into third year because of a lot of things I went through during my second year at the university last year. So I'm finally in third year. Actually, it's a bittersweet moment, I would say. The sweet part of it and the most beautiful part of it is that I have quite a few time off uni compared to when I was in second year. In second year, I was literally at university Monday to Friday, 9 till 5. Plus, I was also working on Saturday and Sunday, which was very, 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 very not the best thing to do because I didn't have any time for myself or any time to take a break for myself at all. So it was quite overwhelming, quite exhausting, and I just don't know how I passed. It's just a miracle, like I said initially. So in third year, I have most Wednesdays off and some alternate Thursdays off, where if I don't have dispensary on Thursdays, I have the day off, and if I have dispensary, then I don't have the day off. And sometimes if I have placements as well, I don't have Thursdays off, but most Wednesdays is always off for me at the university now. And some days we are only there for like till 1 o'clock, and we are not there for full time compared to how it was in second year. But the bad thing is that Fridays is 9 to 5 back-to-back lectures, and I'm like, oh, we'd rather have the end of the week really, really quiet and just have it quiet Friday up to the weekend, so we can have a nice weekend. But it's not that way at my university. But fair enough, it's balanced, so I won't complain about that. So far, my third day is mostly clinical. I was so happy to come into third day because I thought actually I'm finally done with chemistry. However, I'm not actually finally done with chemistry because we're still doing a bit of some chemistry in things, for example, like antibiotics, antifungals lectures. They are mostly chemistry. You see all those benzene ring spider. I call them spider diagrams because that is how they look to me, but they're quite interesting though. So we have that, and I really love the clinical aspect. At the moment, we're learning about GI and cancer, and we're learning every aspect from the GI physiology, what drugs work, what conditions, what medical conditions happen to this parts of the body and things like that. And we're also learning cardiovascular system at the moment, and also learning immunology. What do our body respond? How do our body respond to issues that come to us and fight for it before we actually get really, really unwell? Things like that. So that is what I've been learning so far. I really, really love it, and I'm so happy. Like, it's actually what I'm actually interested in, and it's actually making pharmacy very, very exciting. After completing my calculations practice, I moved on to making more on my lecture notes. I think I could remember I made 2 lecture notes that day, which I'm so happy about, and I just did that for the rest of the day. However, in between at 5:30 I took a break by going on to mass, and then mass finished at 7 p.m. and that was all I did. All I did was just come back to the library, downloaded my lectures for the day, next day, and then ticked off my to-do list and checked my forest app to see how much I've been focusing for the day. So that's actually what I did, and then packed up to go home. So guys, that's the end of today's video. Thank you so much for joining me. I really hope you enjoyed this video. With that being said, I'll see you guys in my next video. Have a good evening. Bye bye.